Super Mario Bros. 1 new record. Super Mario 64 16-star new records. Celeste new records. Mario Odyssey inches closer to sub 1 hour. WQQQQWRT Alpha Games his way to the top. Goldeneye unties. It's time for more Speed News. The top story today is the brand new record in Super Mario Bros. 1. 455.796 by some Wes. I mean, anytime there's a new record in Super Mario Bros., perhaps the most iconic video game of all time, and one of the most painstakingly optimized speed games of all, it's huge news. So prepare yourself to see some inane comments on Facebook once this run makes the rounds over there in a week or two. This record improvement might come as a shock to many, as it was only 4 weeks earlier that Cosmic D set a 455.913, the first 455 and a huge moment in its own right. But many who followed Super Mario Bros. Closely were predicting that it'd be some Wes to achieve the first 455, as he held the previous record, a 456.245, in the months leading up to Cosmic's 455. The minute difference some Wes had on this run was a better World 8.4, including a fast acceleration that Cosmic didn't go for on his 455. Cosmic knew he had a shot at 455 without it, whereas some Wes knew he had to go for it to beat Cosmic's run. There's actually a really cool infographic that a Reddit user, Subasa Sama, shared, detailing the world record progression and all the tricks used or not used in all these Super Mario Bros. Records dating back to Andrew G's 458s in 2013. And all of these, other than IOL's one record, were set and held by Americans, which begs the question, rest of the world, are you even trying? I'll link the infographic in the description, as well as the streams of some Wes and Cosmic D. You know, every time a new record's set in Super Mario Bros., the general vibe among speedrunners is that lower is technically possible, but would be insane, so it's unlikely anyone will go for it soon. Yet here we are, 28 days after Cosmic got the first 455 with an even lower one. There still is a tiny bit of juice left to squeeze out of this run, even though it's the most carefully studied and optimized of all speedruns, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if we're talking about a new Super Mario Bros. World Record sooner than you might think. Super Mario 64 16-star. We've seen a good deal of action in this category this year. In April, Ouija14, the young upstart runner, achieved a 1517 in what was seen as a masterful speedrun. In August, Aki tied this 1517, or more precisely was 1 frame behind Ouija's record. You may also remember that Aki had a 1522 unrecorded earlier this year, beating the record at the time of 1524. But Aki was finally able to avenge his close calls with a 1516 at the beginning of October. However, on October 19th, American grinder Drozdowski, who also holds the 0-star world record, got a lower 1516 to take the 16-star world record. He shockingly cut off more than 10 seconds from his previous PB, a huge cut in such a short category, and a big deal, holding 2 of the 5 main category world records, matching the feat of Cheezo 5 in a sense. However, as the celebrations were still raging on for Drozdowski's truly remarkable speed achievement, on October 21st, Aki dropped a 1508 to take a stranglehold on the 16-star world record, and an even more remarkable speedrun. I remember when Ouija got that fateful 1517 earlier this year, knocking it down from the 1520s, wondering about the possibility of a sub 15-minute 16-star speedrun. But now the possibility is becoming more and more real. No one imagined that the next improvement would cut 8 seconds off the record, yet here we are. Huge congratulations to Aki and Drozdowski on these speedruns, and good luck if they choose to pursue lower. A few world records in notable games to mention. Special shoutouts to Enop, who got a 4-hour, 38-minute, and 40-second in Majoras Mask 100%, lowering his own world record once again, putting a nearly 12-minute gap between him and second place, and now holding the 4 fastest runs ever in the category. I remember him lowering the Majoras Mask 100% record like this 5 years ago. Absolutely mad domination for the better part of a decade. Mitch Flower Power lowered the Super Mario Bros. 3 any% no wrong warp record by 1 second to 10:44, beating Kirua's record of 10:45 set in August of last year, and beating Mitch's own PB of 10:47 set 2.5 years ago. Mitch's run happened within a day of the 30th anniversary of Super Mario Bros. 3's release, which is some divine speedrun intervention to be sure. In Super Mario Odyssey, Chaos Pringle achieved a 1 hour and 55 seconds, inching closer towards the sub-1 hour run that people ask about being possible every time a new record is set in the game. Spoiler alert, it is. I'm not sure of any AAA title speed game that has ever been maxed within a year of its release. End of story. And it's interesting to see a lot of variety now at the top of the Super Mario Odyssey leaderboards. Earlier this year, it seemed the record was back and forth between Necrovita and Sui Saga, and now there are many players in the mix. I'm going to go out there and say, with all this competition, we will see a sub-1 hour before the end of 2019. Breath of the Wild had some madness with a bullet time bounce trick being discovered. Zelda veteran SVA shows this setup from the Temple of Time to Hyrule Castle. Zant on Twitter also posts tons of these Breath of the Wild tricks and setups if you want to see more of this type of shocking gameplay. And just today, Wolhakesong, the any% no amiibo world record holder, lowered his 33.59 to a 33.15, cutting 44 seconds off with this new trick. And it sounds like there is more time to be cut off in the coming days. Big news in Celeste. TGH, champion of Celeste, was dethroned for the first time since April when the Brazilian Flattervy achieved a new any% record during a race with live commentary.
Off the spring, wall bounce in these refresh gems. He is so incredibly close. Flag number 1, Fladerby. Will he get a new Celeste 90% world record?
Come on, he's got it.
Come on. 29:35 is the time to beat. And it's the Fladerby.
Let's go.
29, 32, 31.
We have a new world record, boys.
New world record.
Flattervy had recently become the first person other than TGH to achieve a sub 30-minute run when he got 29:54 on October 16th, so it was a huge shock when only 5 days later he achieved a 29:31, beating TGH's record by 4 seconds. Of course, this is TGH we're talking about, one of the most dominant speedrunners of 2018, who asserted his dominance and took the record back within 10 hours. Now standing at 29:25. TGH has been head of shoulders above the rest of the competition for the better part of the year, to the point where others suggested it would be unfair of him to participate in these sort of Celeste tournaments, since he would obviously win. But true winners like Flattervy don't listen to this sort of degenerate mindset, and instead rise up to the challenge. So a huge congratulations to Flattervy for finally giving TGH some competition, and of course TGH for retaking his spot at number 1.
You're a winner.
Speaking of rising up, the infamous WQQQQWRT nearly stunned the world with a link to the past no major glitches 1:23.11, only 0.8 seconds off the world record currently held by Zelna. I don't know how much of the speedrunning community views WQ. A lot of people are frightened or confused by his imposing, self-described alpha gameplay, but he is a very skilled speedrunner, very close to the main category record in one of the classic speed games. Zelna has held the record, lowering it a number of times since he took it from the notorious and controversial Crystal in August 2014. So WQ getting this record, if he can beat his PB, will be absolutely massive news. And I, for one, really want to see it happen just to see how Speed Twitter and our speedrun will react. Good luck, WQ. Alright, finally we can get around to Goldeneye, where we've seen some action on the jungle stage. The records to start the month were 50, 53, and 54 across the 3 difficulties. Carl Jobst decided to play the level and, as he usually does, develop some innovations and micro-optimizations, including throwing the mine to destroy the second drone gun without changing strafes. This, among other optimizations, helped him on October 10th achieve Jungle Secret Agent 52, a huge untied, beating Ace's 53 set back in 2008, one of the game's all-time greatest world records at the time it was set. I detail that story more in the Jungle Speedlore episode if you want to check that out. Not to be outdone, on October 23rd, David Clemens achieved Jungle 00 Agent 53, an untied record, skipping the previous record of 54, partly thanks to 2 miracle boosts at the end of the level. 00 Agent has always been slightly slower than Secret Agent because you have less ammo to defeat Xenia, which makes it more challenging, or some players might opt to kill an extra guard for more ammo. Also, 00 Agent is super hard to survive as you can only get hit 4 or fewer times by the guard's super accurate AR-33 rifles, whereas on Secret Agent you can survive many more hits. In any case, the race for the untied on Agent, 49 seconds, is now on, with Clemens, Carl, and Dan Swiss Parker all achieving 50 recently. Carl has been streaming every day for 49, but with Clemens entertaining the idea and Dan Swiss Parker being known for sniping untieds from under the feet of others, it's really anyone's untied for the taking, and will be thrilling to see who comes out with it. Alright, I'm just exhausted going through all that speed news. It feels like enough has happened in this past week to make up for an entire year. So if you've been wondering what's been going on, I hope you've enjoyed getting your fill of speed news there. And if you did, give this video an alpha like to wish WQQQQWRT luck in his quest for the Link to the Past world record, and subscribe to ensure you get the latest speed running content. Honestly, I hope things chill out for the next few weeks because the rate of world records and notable speedruns has been too torrential to handle. Anyways, my friends, stay true, and I'll see you in the next stream or video.